We're talking about James 1. If you were here last week, we had a whole QR code thing. You opted in for it, and you were like, okay, bet, I read it. But if you're like, I wasn't here last week, don't worry. I got you. We're going to cover not one, not two, but three different things that the book of James talks about that if you read, you saw, but if you didn't read, don't worry. It applies to you as well. It actually applies to those who even read also. So if you're ready, say let's go. So the first thing we can find actually really fast is in James chapter 1, verse 1 through 4. James chapter 1, verse 1 through 4. If you're there, say I got it. If you're not there, say hold up. I have a lot of hold ups actually. I thought we had it on the screen too. Wow, it's on the screen, so we ain't got to hold up no more. So you look at James real quick. The verse reads, this letter is from James, obviously, a slave of God, servant, and the Lord Jesus Christ. I am writing to the 12 tribes, Jewish believers scattered abroad. Greetings. Pause there. Some of y'all are like, who the heck are the 12 tribes? I knew the disciples. I knew the days of Christmas. I have no idea who the tribes are. I got you. Tribes. Old Testament. Everyone say Jacob. Jacob had a lot of kids, 12 to be exact. They all branched off, had their own little pocket called a tribe. In that tribe, they all ran Christianity just a little bit different, but all also came back together saying, I love Jesus. Scale this up to today. This text here applies to anyone in the room that says, I'm a Christ follower. I love Jesus. I know him, down to the person that says, I have a scripture in my bio, but I'm not sure how to quote it for real. It's like John 3 something. It applies to you too. So if you call yourself a Christian of any level, James 1 applies to you. Goes on further to read, dear brothers and sisters, when troubles of any kind come your way, consider it an opportunity of great joy, for you know that when your faith is tested, your endurance has a chance to grow. So let it grow. For when your endurance is fully developed, you'll be perfect and complete, needing nothing. The first thing I pulled away here from James chapter 1, verse 1 through 4 was a do and do not when it comes to trials. A do and do not when it comes to trials. Title of the message here is Do and Don'ts with James. First one, trials. It says in verse 2, very clearly, very clear as day, that when trials come, consider it a chance for great joy. Okay, very simple. Very simple. Joy. But when I was reading this, though, I had a question to myself that I actually want to ask y'all today for your sermon break. What is joy? What is joy? Take a moment, ask your neighbor, what is joy? Some of y'all up here, I heard some of y'all answers, everlasting, an emotion, all great things. But some of y'all in here, I heard interesting things, playing basketball, fishing, cool, talking to my boyfriend or girlfriend, great. But in James right now, when it says like when trials come, consider it joy, we got to be very careful to not confuse things that bring joy with joy. You know why I say that? Let's scale this thing up here. If talking to your boyfriend and girlfriend is joy, let's put it on the text. When me and my boyfriend is fighting right now, I have to consider my boyfriend. Give an obsession. All right, when y'all are saying fishing, when it's a dangerous day in Lake Michigan, and y'all know how it gets, I got to get on that water. Unsafe. Driving brings me joy. So when your car's in the shop, then what? So those things right there aren't joy. Then we have to ask ourselves again, what is joy? Now, I'm not sure about y'all, but I know for me at least, when problems like this occur right here, I have to work backwards. So to figure out what something is, let's figure out what something is not. So what isn't joy? Well, in the big 2026, that's not hard to find. We live in a culture of crash out. Where my crash outs at? Raise your hand. Actually, don't. I'm scared of y'all. Actually, I'm scared of y'all. Don't do that, because y'all might jump me afterwards. Not doing that. But in the current age that we live in right now, I see a lot of people crashing out over the dumbest of things. You ordered a medium fry and got a small. Just get back in line. Your triple caramel macchiato type of thing is not triple caramel. Don't forget about it. Now you mad about it. But ultimately, at the end of the day, though, people be crashing out because they don't get their way. I've discovered people who don't get their way just throw adult temper tantrums and call it crashing out. So if that's the opposite of joy, what if there was a person that knew the way that my life should actually work and operate? That person doesn't exist though, right? Wrong. Proverbs 3:5-6. I know the plans for you. No, that's Jeremiah 29:11. Proverbs 3:5-6. Trust in the Lord in all your ways. Lean not on your own understanding. Jeremiah 29:11 says, lean now. Look, trust in the plans I have for you. Plans not to harm you, prosper you, all the things here. John 14:1 says, believe in God. So, if joy isn't crashing out, could joy ultimately be choosing Jesus over yourself? Choosing Jireh's way over yourself? Choosing the way that God said about your life over yourself? No, that's way too complex. I'm not sure how that looks. Break it down, Vernon. Easy. So when you and your boyfriend are fighting right now, instead of you going to them begging for your attention, pray to God for understanding. When your friends that you said bring you joy are talking crap about how you're back, God, I am so grateful you put the snakes out my life. I don't need them boys no more. They weird. When your car is in the shop and you're like, God, I gotta get places. God, thank you for keeping me safe. What if joy ultimately is choosing obedience to God over the convenience of your feelings? Selah. Everyone say trials and joy. That right there is point number one. Point number two, coming at y'all fast, is wisdom. Everyone say wisdom. Now, right now, we go down to James 1:5-8, where we can find our second do and do not. Survey says, if you need wisdom, ask our generous God, and he will give it to you. He will not rebuke you for asking. But when you ask him, be sure your faith is in God alone. Do not waver. For a person with divided loyalty is as unsettled as a wave of the sea that is blown and tossed by the wind. Such people should not expect to receive anything from the Lord. Their loyalty is divided between God and the world, and they are unstable in everything they do. Yikes. Unstable. Yikes. When I read this text here, the word that popped up to me a lot was the word give. Because, yes, when wisdom comes here, we have to ask our God, but he gives it to us in one of two ways. And I was like, how does God give wisdom to us? I'm perplexed here. Doing a little deeper dive in the Bible here, you find that God gives out his wisdom to people in three. Everyone say three. Three ways, but two are primary, one secondary. Two are primary, one secondary. How many are primary? How many are secondary? Making sure y'all heard that. All right, the primary ones. One, prayer. Second one, the Bible. Someone's in here like, that seems like way too easy. All right, bet. Makes sense. I got y'all. Imagine if you had a friend that you had to have some information about. You would call them or text them first, right? A call is a conversation with somebody, right? That's what prayer is. A text is just words on a phone or a screen or paper, hello, that you can actually be like, man, that's what they said. That's the Bible. It's actually even called a text. Like, it's breaking it down for us today to be like, man, I have to hear this. But if you're like, I've tried prayer and I've tried the text and it's just not working out, the third one, and secondary, remember this, secondary, his people. his people. Why it's secondary is very important. If you start putting people in the position of God, you've created an idol. If you put people first above God, you have made an idol. It can happen very fast, but you have made an idol. Don't do that. But when it does come to wisdom, though, you asking God primarily through prayer, his text, then his people, we are told by James to ask God. Great, easy to do, lovely. What's next? Don't ask doubtfully. Okay, well, what's doubtfully then? Simple. How many of us in the room are being honest right now with ourselves? Don't raise your hands. Have came to God saying, I'm too far away, he won't hear me. Don't raise your hands. We come to God saying, I sinned yesterday, so if I ask for something today, he ain't gonna do it. If we're being honest with ourselves, a lot of us in the room have probably felt that emotion. So when you go to God, though, don't. Go to God very confidently. He can change your situation. You might ask how. Bet, how many of us in the room here can drive, actually? If you can drive, raise your hand. Y'all can drive. So the rest of y'all can't drive. I was just like y'all. I was just like y'all at one point. And I wanted to have so much motion. Go to my friend's house. Go to the high school dance. Go to work. And I would have to ask one person because they could change the situation here. My parents. Now, my parents, though, they were on games. I'll have to go to them answering the question of who, what, when, where, and why for me to go someplace like down the street. It was the dumbest of things here. But I went to them very boldly saying, hey, Mom, I want to go to Jesse's house down the street. Hang out, basketball, pizza maybe, I don't know. And no matter how many times they said no, I would always ask very confidently, knowing they can change my physical reality. If I'm asking my parents that confidently over a physical change, I should ask God more confidently, knowing he can change my physical, spiritual, and emotional realities. Don't come over here being like I don't trust God. I don't know how to do it. Ask boldly. Ask boldly. Summary number 2. Question for y'all that I had to ask myself when I was studying the text here is, what causes us to doubt God? Point number 3, our last point here. Application. Application. Can be found in James 1:22 through 25. On the screens. But don't just listen to God's word. You must do what it says. Otherwise, you're only fooling yourselves. Say, ouch. For if you listen to the word and don't obey, it's like glancing at your face in the mirror. You see yourself, walk away, and forget what you look like. But if you look carefully into the perfect law that sets you free, and if you do what it says and don't forget what you heard, then God will bless you for doing it. Angel, hand my backpack to me real quick. Thank you. See, I love this alliteration so much about a mirror. Thought I wasn't going to bring one. Ha! Y'all forgot about the boy. Ha! But this mirror here, I do like a lot. It can reflect back the most handsome guy in the universe. How's it going? It can tell me where my blemishes are. It can tell me that I forgot some chapstick on my lips right now, and they kind of chapped. Don't mind me, mind your business. But what it can't do, though, is change anything. All it can do is reflect the image in front of it. What we often do in our Christianity walk here, instead of changing our situation, we just add more mirrors. We just put a mirror up here, right here in front of us, behind us even. And all that's doing is creating a more holistic view of yourself without changing your situation. Oh, that's too up here. Bring it down. You don't have to hear another sermon about depression. You don't have to hear about, I need another word about anxiety. You don't. What you need to do is apply what you just heard to deal with your anxiety. You don't need another sermon about, I need better friends. Go find better friends. You don't need another dating series about, I gotta find the perfect boy for me out there. I'm only 14. I gotta find my perfect boy. No, you don't. You already had like 57 of them things. What? Nothing's gonna change unless you apply. Unless you do the work. If you're not gonna do the work, you're only fooling yourself. And that's the craziest part. You mean you can come to church on Monday through Sunday, know all the praise songs and everything, but everyone around you knows the real you besides yourself? Boy, that's wild. Boy, that's wild. If you want to change yourself, though, simple. First thing you have to do right now is pray to God for awareness. Awareness. This generation here, love y'all. Y'all are fantastic. But y'all fall into two camps that are great. Camp number one talks about in James here. Y'all hear the word, but don't want to do nothing. Y'all hear that like, I got a gift, but I won't ever use it. That part right there, it's dangerous. But the other camp, though, is people that hear the word and just do everything with it. I hear that I got a gift for singing, and now I'm going to do everything just to be seen, except for singing. And what both camps actually need, awareness on how to use the gifts, the messages, the tools that God has given you. If you want a more practical way of breaking this down a little bit more, look around. Look around. You don't have to be out your way and be like super high and mighty just to apply the word. I don't have to have money to be a giver. That's a heart posture thing. I don't have to be dating someone to know how relationships work. I have friends. I can actually tell you this advice right here. Apply. Pray for awareness. 2, if you're like, okay, I need like help, someone like tooling me around here, join the summer internship program. Small little plug real quick, not even in my notes, PT, I see you back there. Join the summer internship program here, where PT and PD will actually equip you, develop you, and teach you how to apply the gifts you actually have learned for the summer here. Gotta learn how to apply this. Can't just hear it and not do. Plane is on the ground now. We're landing. In conclusion, in James today, we learned a couple of things. We learned 3 themes that stuck out to us. Number 1, trials and joy. And when trials come, choose joy. But we can't confuse things that bring joy for joy. We know about wisdom, and we have to ask God for our wisdom, but not ask God doubtfully. And number 3, application. We can't just hear the word and not apply what we've heard. We don't need another message about whatever if we're not going to do it. And my challenge to us in the room today, myself included, is the same challenge we got from James back then. Are we going to just hear messages like this through the entire summer from gifted communicators, from pastors and leaders alike, and not do anything? Or look in the mirror and actually change something?